Tonight on News 5 Live, a resolution has been brought before City Hall to have Deputy Mayor Micah Godin resign from the post with immediate effect. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
My name is Janine and I live in Belize City. I've been a social worker for 2 years now. Social work is actually a difficult job. It takes a lot from you, not physically, but mentally. I went for an interview once for a job in dealing with youths at risk. And while in the interview, I was asked the question if I'm sure I wanted the job because it was dealing with troubled youth. And the interviewer looked at me and said, well, we would prefer a male for the job. I was hurt at first because I thought I was as qualified as the male to get the job. And it really stuck with me because then I thought, if I am as qualified, why wasn't I chosen? Why would you want to eliminate 50% of the workforce? People are supposed to be hired based on merit and not gender.
Reusable plastics. Did you know that until we find an alternative for plastic and all its uses, we will continue to need plastics, such as in the health sector? Plastic becomes a huge problem for Belize when it becomes waste and is improperly disposed of. When it is thrown on the side of the road and in our rivers and seas, it's eaten by animals and in turn by people, and it becomes an environmental and health issue. It costs us money for disposal, filling up dumps and landfills, and paying for associated healthcare. So what can you do? Choose to refuse single-use plastics is step 1. Step 2, instead, use the plastics that were meant to be reused, like coffee cups, water bottles, and food containers. We're not talking about buying a $1 bottle of water. I mean, you can, but how long will that last you? Reusable plastics keep plastics out of the environment for a much longer time and are even better than other forms of plastics like biodegradable or even compostable or bio-based plastics. By reusing, you are also saving money since you aren't rebuying the same thing over again. Think about it. How many bottles of water do you buy every week? How much does that cost compared to the cost of a reusable bottle? Imagine what you can do with the extra money. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
This May will be amazing at Penny's. Get amazing deals and great gifts from Mom. We have Pyrex bakeware, Chicago cutlery knife sets, Corningware, Snapware, and the elegant yet durable Coral dinnerware sets at amazing prices. Check out our impressive line of Sankey appliances and much, much more. Take advantage of these amazing deals all May long only at Penny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Member owners of the Holy Redeemer Credit Union Limited. Your credit union cordially invites you to attend its 78th AGM on Saturday, May 28th, commencing at 2 p.m. sharp at the Belize Civic Center. Come listen to important reports and information about your credit union and learn what plans for the future are in the making. Currently, we have over 61,000 members with assets of $684.2 million. Although the country is beginning to open up slowly, COVID-19 protocols will still be observed at the Belize Civic Center, especially those of social distancing and the wearing of face masks. In keeping you safe, this year's business meeting will be fast-paced, so as not to be inside the venue longer than we need to be. Please make every effort to attend your 78th HRCU AGM. And remember to bring along your HRCU passbook, a valid photo ID, and your COVID-19 vaccination card to be able to gain access to the venue. HRCU, making a difference in people's lives.
Save, 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 it will make you rich someday.
My name is Wilmer De La Rosa from Santa Elena Town. I am currently a student at Cayo, set for employment training. Enrolled in the electrical installation program. In late July 2021, I got a confirmation that I was a successful applicant and would be granted a scholarship from Social Security Board. It was one of the proudest moments for me. I felt very excited to start this new path in my life. So far on my journey as a Social Security Board scholar, my vocational technical scholarship has assisted me in achieving my life goals in so many ways. For one, it has renewed sense of purpose, another chance at professional development, and a start at a new career. This opportunity has paved the way for me to excel in life as an individual and as a member of society. Great things are coming after I graduate from SET. I can promise you that. Applying for a vocational technical scholarship through the Social Security Board is simple and easy. I would advise young people in need to apply. It is possible to create a fulfilling and fruitful life with a Social Security scholarship. Believe in yourself and your abilities and skills. I always say, the key is to always keep an open mind and let your determination be your motivation.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, May 26th. I am Sabrina Daly. A resolution was put forward earlier today during a meeting of the Belize City Council for Deputy Mayor Michael Godin to relinquish his post at City Hall by day's end. Godin, as we reported 2 weeks ago, was involved in a shooting incident on Newtown Barracks on the morning of May 14th, as he and 2 other men were leaving a popular establishment after a night on the entertainment strip. It is reported that Tariq James, Michael Godin, and Tay Medina were involved in a verbal exchange with Kenyon Tillett. All 3 men entered Godin's vehicle, and upon driving away, James fired 3 shots from the vehicle. Tillett returned fire and in the process grazed Shadow Councillor Tay Medina on the left side of his neck. Since then, both James and Tillett were charged for their roles in the shooting incident, and despite not being charged criminally, Godin has come under fire for his involvement in the fracas. In the wake of the incident, Godin faced strong criticism from the United Democratic Party. At the time, Mayor Bernard Wagner was away from the country on official business in Barbados. While the City Council Act stipulates that the deputy mayor holds over in the absence of the mayor, we understand that Mayor Wagner maintained oversight of City Hall's daily operations. Late this evening, City Hall issued a press release. It reads, quote, "During a closed session of the council, the majority elected officials of the Belize City Council discussed a matter of urgent public importance. The gun-related incident on other matters that have now come to the forefront, all of which involve dishonorable behavior by Deputy Mayor Godin, prompted the members to deliberate whether the deputy should continue to serve in this capacity. Regrettably, the deputy opted not to remain in the council meeting when this was raised in adjournment. However, at the conclusion of this discussion, all 9 of the elected officials who were present agreed to afford him the opportunity to resign as deputy mayor or be served with notice that a motion would be brought in 14 days to remove him from this capacity. Should Godin opt not to resign at the expiration of the 14-day period, a resolution would be tabled at caucus for his removal, unquote. Multiple gunshots rang out in Sugar City last night, and when the shooting subsided, 2 men were left for dead in front of a shop on Aurora Street. It is believed that the callous attack may have been carried out by rival gangs in the area. And despite an attempt by residents in the area to transport the injured men to the hospital, Ronaldo Marchand would lose his life. The incident happened sometime around 8:30 p.m. This morning, police in Orange Walk were conducting operations along with the Quick Response Team and the Mobile Interdiction Team to prevent any reprisals. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
A pair of men came under deadly gunfire on Wednesday night in Orange Walk town. They were both in front of 501 shop near Staines Alley when 2 men on a motorcycle rode up on them. What took place immediately thereafter has left 31-year-old Nazir Vasquez hospitalized at the Northern Regional Hospital. His friend, 38-year-old Ronaldo Marchand, did not survive the attack. He was shot twice and succumbed to his injuries while receiving emergency medical attention. According to a statement given to investigators, the gunmen emerged from the direction of the nearby Shell gas station. An individual on the motorcycle produced a firearm and took aim at the unsuspecting men. As many as 8 expended 9mm shells were later recovered from the scene of the shooting. Vasquez, a resident of Palmetto Street, was injured multiple times in the back, legs, and arm. While no one has been arrested for the deadly attack, police believe that the incident is drug-related. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Coming up, there's more news after the break, so don't go away.
From the first day I met you, I knew my life was going to take a turn for the better, but I never knew just how much that was going to be. I've experienced things with you that I never thought possible. You showed me the beauty in the simplest things, and I've come to appreciate them immensely. I look at myself snuggling up at home with you and watching movies on a Friday night, or taking an evening stroll by the sea, and I'm reeling with excitement like it's the first time, every time. With you, I can just be myself, and I consider myself so lucky to be able to experience that comfort in our relationship. You somehow always manage to turn every day into a special occasion, a skill I absolutely commend you for. In my time with you so far, you've made me realize a lot about myself, and an important one is that my world is what it is because I have you in it, and I would very much like to keep you in it. So now, I have only one question for you. Turn around.
Get outside again at the National Agriculture and Trade Show on May 28th and 29th. Booth opens at 8 a.m. with unbeatable deals you won't find anywhere else on the grounds. Get LT devices for guaranteed lowest cash prices with up to $75 free bonus credit. Short on cash? No problem. Choose from our selection of Samsung devices on installment for as low as $49 down and affordable $25 monthly. Some restrictions apply. Make the switch to Digi and purchase a device and get over $150 in free Digi services on your free Digi SIM. Excited yet? Sign up for a DigiNet plan starting at only $49 monthly, or get 1 month free when you choose a DigiNet Boost plan. Plus, get half off your bill for 3 months when you make the switch to DigiNet. There's also going to be double and triple up on the grounds. Download, register, and use your DigiWallet at any DigiWallet merchant at Agric for a chance to win DigiCash.
Hello? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Digi, they're outside at Agric 2022 with over $10,000 in raffles and giveaways. Join us live on Digi Facebook Agric Weekend. See you at the Digi booth. Visit livedigi.com/Agric 2022 for more details.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Our days are busy, and it's easy to be on the go and forget to take care of yourself. How often do you stop and take a good look at your life? And when you do you have the brutal realization that who you are today is so far from the person you want to be? Let us help you close that gap. Join us for Sagebrush Church, where you'll learn more about God, the Bible, and yourself. Tune in to hear a powerful teaching and participate in engaging worship every week, right here for Sagebrush Church.
Strong protest from the creative sector has prompted the Briceño administration to reconsider its stance on implementing a new tax regime for trade licenses. It comes hard on the heels of Monday's House Committee meeting, where various stakeholders within the artistic community shared their concerns with respect of the Trade License Bill 2022. Taking into consideration the delicate state of the entertainment industry as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, Cabinet agreed to defer any fee for local entertainers while consultations continue. Elsewhere in the recent Cabinet release, a motion will be presented at the next sitting of the National Assembly for a loan of $24 million to fund the rehabilitation of 16 miles of road along the Philip Gosen Highway from mile 8.5 to 24.5. As a result, as of May 23, 2022, over 216,000, or just over 50% of the total population, have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. 49% of the country's population has received 2 doses, while only 11.9% of the population has received a booster shot. Those figures include 45.68% of children population ages 12 to 17 who have been fully vaccinated. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is on a mission to increase those numbers by vaccinated children 5 to 11. And today, it announced that it will start the rollout of the pediatric vaccination this coming Monday, May 30th. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
First, it was the elderly population and frontline workers, then those in the tourism sector and the adult population of the country. Then in 2021, we also saw the rollout of vaccines to children 12 years and older. Today, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, at a media sensitization session, confirmed that they have secured pediatric COVID-19 vaccines for children ages 5 to 11. The Pfizer pediatric vaccines are being donated by the government of Slovakia.
We are privileged to be recipient of a donation from the government of Slovakia. We are receiving 124,800 doses of Pfizer pediatric formulation, and the cost of each dose is $20.87.
This batch of pediatric vaccines will allow for the immunization of up to 85% of children in this age range with 2 doses each. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has been working with the Ministry of Education to inform parents of the rollout, which is set to commence in schools across the country on May 30th. Dr. Natalia Baer of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and Pediatrician Dr. Cecilia Eck shared details.
The target population, based on the data that we gathered from the Statistical Institute of Belize, children 5 to 11 in Belize is a total of 73,119. And we were informed by our team that is at the Philip Goldson International Airport, prepared to receive the vaccines today, that there has been a delay and the vaccines will arrive until Saturday.
It is a boon that we've gotten it. We again are ahead of most of the countries in the world to get enough vaccines to even give our kids one dose and to start on the second dose. So our hope is that most of the kids, we aim for 95% coverage, will get at least one dose prior to going for holidays, and hopefully most of them will get the 2 doses.
Since we received the confirmation of the donation, then we started to work with the District Education Center and the Ministry of Health and Wellness local teams in the districts, reaching out to the principals, to the teachers, to the parents, because every parent should receive information, afford them the opportunity to ask their questions before signing the consent form, which is a requirement. So we haven't heard or received any negative response from the education sector.
The recommendation for this age group is 2 doses, 21 days apart. A booster shot is recommended for children who are immune compromised. But similarly to the vaccination rollout for children 12 and older, it is expected that the reaction from parents will be a mixed bag on whether or not their children should be vaccinated. Drs. Baer and Eck share the benefits of inoculation.
COVID-19 is not a disease to play with. It have long-term consequences, and we are still learning about the virus, and Dr. Eck can help me here, that it's not a cough and cold that we thought at the beginning of the pandemic. We know that now it's a systemic disease. And so why expose someone to get COVID-19 when we have a vaccine that can protect them from the infection? And if they do get infected, then it will protect them from severe illness and the need for hospitalizations.
Our track record on giving vaccines to our kids is impeccable. Now what's happening is we get a new vaccine. It has been used throughout the world to prevent COVID. We do know that even though the risk of severe illness to children is very low, it still does exist. And if we give the vaccine to our children, we decrease the risk of them making ill and getting the need to be hospitalized. And thirdly, approaching that golden figure of herd immunity.
The vaccine will arrive in country on Saturday, and rollout will begin on Monday, May 30th at schools and public health facilities and vaccination sites countrywide. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
At the end of this month, 120,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine expires. This is because residents have not been coming out to get their jabs, be that the initial dose, their second jab, or even the booster. It is a great loss in the millions of dollars because it costs the government of Belize to acquire the vaccine, which serves as a layer of protection against the deadly COVID-19 virus. But today, Dr. Natalia Larga Espada Baer told the media that despite the loss, GOB is procuring a new batch of vaccines to continue with its vaccination of the adult population.
The government of Belize have secured more than 100% of the vaccines required to vaccinate the eligible population for COVID-19 vaccine in Belize. And that is applaudable. And now we are seeking to procure more vaccines. As you all know, we will have a terrible loss at the end of May this year, but we are already seeking how to get more vaccines. And we are hoping that in a month time, we should have restock Pfizer vaccine, to continue with the revaccination or completing schemes or booster doses.
The last time we spoke with pediatrician Dr. Cecilio Eck, he was immobile, confined to a wheelchair, having lost control of his legs as one of the debilitating effects of COVID-19. He has since been engaged in therapy following his near-death experience with the virus. While he now moves around with the use of a pair of crutches, the well-loved pediatrician was at today's media sensitization session of the Ministry of Health and Wellness to emphasize the importance of vaccination. During the interview, Dr. Eck was asked for an update on his situation.
I applaud all the efforts of the team that I say brought me back. One of my good friends called me Lazarus squared because I was actually intubated twice. I had bleeding inside, and I had to do a surgery, and I spent a month in hospital. I applaud Dr. Arriaga and his team, all the nurses, all the docs who cared for me. But going home after a month was not the end. That was the beginning of therapy, and I again applaud my beautiful torturer. I call her Miss Trejo, my physiotherapist. She was there when I was extubated. She was there when I was intubated, and she's been there throughout my whole course, my whole progress and recovery. So I started with not being able to, because remember, it's unpredictable. In my case, it affected the nerves in my body, and I was unable to move, to shift even in bed. So I went from being totally home cared for a couple of weeks to a month to then being able to sit up. And I think it's one of the cruel ironies that I had to learn to walk again like a baby. So sit up, then going to standing. During that time I was in a wheelchair in my home, so I had to revamp my home with ramps, from the wheelchair to a little walker, to my crutch sticks now. But the pool therapy works. I've been in the pool every day. Miss Trejo comes with me and tortures me in a beautiful way. But it is a process. It's humbling. I'm thankful to everybody and all the support that I got. I'm thankful to my wife, to my kids for supporting me, and to the population. I had priests who came in and gave me my final rites. It's changed now to a prayer for the ill. It's a nice process. It teaches me what a critical care patient goes through, and I don't wish it on anyone. So if anybody would come and ask about vaccines, I'll be right behind Dr. Bear promoting it. Please vaccinate your kids. Please vaccinate yourselves. It's not a made-up illness, and I'm living proof that we can recover from it. But it is really costly, and it is really debilitating if you're as lucky as I am.
For the next few months, managers in the Ministry of Health and Wellness are engaging in a capacity-building workshop. The event sees the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization playing an integral part in providing the training. PAHO's Health System Advisor, Dr. Edwin Bolastig, explains the scope of the assistance they are giving, since oftentimes health professionals graduate from the respective academic programs without the benefit of management training and are placed in managerial positions.
We'll provide health managers with a better understanding of health data-supported management, as well as the application and use of improved information tools for evidence-informed decision-making, with the aim of facilitating positive changes in management and service delivery. Without a doubt, this training is vital to enhancing the managerial and decision-making skills of middle to senior level managers within the health system.
The training is being provided to all the managers in the ministry across the 6 districts. The sessions are relevant to the quality of care that health managers provide to patients, advised Director of Hospital Services and Allied Health, Dr. Jorge Polanco.
The core of discussion will be the existing structure of information we have and that should enable us to describe what we do, to describe the health status of our communities, that upon a proper analysis tells us what the gaps in health services are, and that should guide us in the day-to-day decision-making process. This is the information system that exists in Belize. But the challenge is, and I would want to believe you would all agree with me, is that it is not used to its maximum potential. Perhaps we are starting. And this training that should begin now and will continue for the next few months should be milestones to push us to take ownership, which will motivate us as managers to use it at the end of the day in benefit of the people we serve.
After the break, growing Belize's export market, and the Ministry of Economic Development weighs in on the cattle situation.
Necesitas un proveedor de servicio móvil que te permita estar conectado con una cobertura LTE rápida y confiable en cualquier instante y desde cualquier lugar. ¿Quieres hablar con tu familia? ¿Compartir tus experiencias con alguien especial? ¿Administrar tu pequeña empresa? Para todo lo que necesites te mereces la mejor experiencia móvil. Ahora puedes hacer mucho más con los planes de datos postpago aumentados de Digi. Puedes disfrutar de 8 gigas de datos en cualquier instante por tan solo $55 mensuales. O puedes compartir hasta 120 gigas con 6 de tus amigos más cercanos. Estos son más datos LTE para que disfrutes durante el día, por las noches y los fines de semana sin restricciones. Disfruta a lo máximo con más datos para llamadas y mensajes ilimitados en todos los planes postpago de Digi. Visita la tienda Digi más cercana para inscribirte hoy. Solo necesitas una identificación válida y un comprobante de domicilio. Únete a la red de mayor velocidad y cobertura en Belice. Para más información visita nuestra página web www.livedigi.com o envíanos un mensaje a través de WhatsApp o Facebook. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the request and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
The first export competitive forum since the onset of the pandemic saw large and small exporters converge in Belize City. A host of topics were presented, including keys to remain competitive regionally and globally. Belize's national competitive performance was reviewed, and a presentation was done on the export competitiveness roadmap that is in its final stages. The forum emphasized the critical role of the public and private sector collaboration in maintaining export competitiveness. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Increasing business competitiveness is essential to growing Belize's export market. 90% of Belize's exports consist of livestock and food. To become more competitive, the local export market must become more diverse and innovative. The Commonwealth Secretariat has been providing technical assistance in this area to Belize.
From the surveys we've done, we've seen that is something, right? I do believe that an average Belizean company wants to do better, right? But again, to be innovative also requires some finance. So sometimes people think, I would like to do that, but then I don't have the money, so I just need to stay where I am. But innovation, it's critical, and I believe it's also the next level to moving forward for any company at all. I mean, if you listen to Nikita, he talks about it in his presentation. They had to innovate. They were only doing citrus, but they realized that we can't sit here, okay? What can we do better? How else can we present? It might be the same product, but how can we present it in a different way?
As an example of innovation, Nikita Usher at Citrus Products of Belize Limited shared how a sharp decline in citrus production led to innovation in their company.
We hear about the pandemic in 2019 or 2020, but citrus industry faced a pandemic long before 2019. The citrus industry faced the pandemic called a reduction in production. And a reduction in production has substantial effect on a plant that was built or designed to do 10 million boxes of fruit. Today, we're at 2 million boxes of fruit caused by a disease. That is a pandemic that is worse than COVID for us. And so we must now find ways to diversify even more. And hence the reason now we have taken one of those beautiful plants that has a number of stainless steel equipments, very beautiful, and converted them into a tropical producing plant. So today, we are now pushing soursop as a product, pineapple as a product, passion fruit as a product, and coconut is to come later this year.
But apart from diversification, CARICOM member states are faced with a number of trade barriers that stagnates growth across the region.
The challenges to trade among the Caribbean is unacceptable, but there are other factors as well. One is the logistics to trade within the Caribbean. So it is almost impossible to trade from Belize directly to a country in the Caribbean. It has to go through Miami and then Miami to the Caribbean. That is one problem. Two, there is also a limitation in terms of communication by ear. Even if you want to be in two different countries in the Caribbean, actually you will have to go, say for example, you want to be in Turks and Caicos, you will have to go Belize, Miami, Miami, Turks and Caicos. But if you plan to spend the following week in Barbados, you will have to go from Turks and Caicos to Miami and then Miami to Barbados. So even among the Caribbean countries, we can see that there are limitations in terms of logistics.
Improving trade networks within the region is a critical component to export competitiveness within the region, says CEO Martinez. Lisa Callender, a consultant for the Commonwealth Secretariat and Beltrade, is working closely with Belizean exporters to develop a roadmap for export competitiveness.
I'm in Jamaica, and there's the same conversation going on in Jamaica, because the reality is that most companies in CARICOM are relatively small vis-a-vis the global market. Our company size, even the larger companies, are quite small in terms of global competition. And so the CARICOM single market and economy is very, very critical to getting companies to have a space where they can grow. Most markets are fairly small and fragmented because the purchasing power of a lot of the populations is not great. And so the CARICOM single market and economy needs to be firmly on the agenda for everyone. It is a question of rationalizing and harmonizing policy space. And even though we are similar, we've come from different histories and different backgrounds. So that harmonization has to be operationalized very quickly, and it's already been too long. We are also in Jamaica quite frustrated about it.
A draft of the roadmap was reviewed at today's forum. From today, a concrete action plan will be put forward. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Dr. Osman Martinez, the Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Economic Development, weighed in on the cattle export situation in country. As we told you last night, the demand for cattle in neighboring Guatemala and Mexico has caused the price of beef on the local market to skyrocket. Cattle ranchers are reportedly sending their cattle across the borders where buyers are willing to pay top dollar. In Belize, consumers are now faced with paying higher prices or simply taking beef off their menu. Dr. Martinez says that necessary balance can be struck with new policies on trade in this industry.
First of all, you have to look at you have to understand the market, you have to understand the supply and demand, and so we will need to understand what is the demand in Belize of the consumption in terms of cattle, no? But these are things that we are learning because it was nowhere forecast that the demand to export would be so high. And so it's a learning curve as well, but it needs to be rectified. And of course, some policies will need to be introduced through cabinet in order to protect the local consumers.
In terms of trade policy, is there in fact the probability or possibility that a government can say would cap the price per beef, and we're also putting in place policy to ensure that you do supply the local market?
Well, the private sector is an issue that has a different dynamic, okay? Because there is, you cannot be a dictator to say, or we do not have a government that is a dictator to say, this is the price, this is the ceiling price. However, I believe that there needs to be a way of how we should look at it as a government and say, we need to protect the consumers, especially noting that more than 50% of our population live below the poverty line, and this is the 2018 statistics. During we are still in the pandemic, I believe that the unemployment rate is much higher. And so even though we have done tremendous job to help with unemployment, still, I do believe that there is a need to see how we can put a ceiling cap on the price of the beef production.
We also asked Dr. Martinez about the country's access to green climate funding through the Green Climate Fund. The fund was established in 2010 within the framework of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It assists developing countries like Belize in adaptation and mitigation practices to counter climate change. Coastal communities across the country are not foreign to the effects of climate change, many battling those effects for decades. Dr. Martinez says while substantial sums have been awarded to Belize through the fund, there are opportunities for greater access.
In total, we have been able to access around $24 million from the Green Climate Funds, and these are grants money, non-reimbursable, free monies for Belize. There are $8 million that has been that were allocated to the Resilient Rural Belize, which is a very interesting program, a program that started back in 2018, but whereby we just started with implementation. In the past, that program was only using monies for salaries, furnitures, and vehicles. Then we have the water nap, which is almost $1 million, who is being implemented by 5Cs. We are also working with the accreditation, which is being paid as well by GCF, the accreditation of DFC, CIF, and the Ministry of Economic Development. That by itself gives another $1 million US. And so there is another project, an experiment that is happening up in the north, which is with the wild cane, to see how we can turn it into energy. Okay, so there are several projects with the Green Climate Fund. However, we are still not happy. What we have, the total amount that we have access from GCF, we believe that there is a lot more that we should be able to access. But Belize have also failed in putting proposals forward. And that, hence the reason, the 3rd of January of 2022, this year, the Ministry of Economic Development created the Climate Finance Unit.
When we return, BTIA discusses the state of the tourism industry 2023. But first, here is the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Hello, welcome to Samsung's awesome experience right here in Belize. Come check it out. Not sure which Samsung Galaxy A series is right for you? Touch, play, and learn about your device before you buy. Once you've purchased your device, you can now benefit from the full Samsung service experience. Your phone is covered by a 1-year local warranty. This includes manufacturer defects and software and hardware issues caused by the manufacturer. Enjoy your phone with peace of mind knowing that your Galaxy is protected. And when your warranty expires, you can still bring it to our certified Samsung Repair Center. Our technicians will diagnose and repair your device with Samsung original parts and machinery. Enjoy the Samsung experience when you shop at any of our authorized partners countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, Debari, Tropigas, and Quartz. Join the Samsung experience in Belize today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
On Wednesday, the Ministry of Blue Economy held a public meeting with fishermen in San Pedro Town to discuss the amendment to the fisheries regulation for a 4.5-ounce lobster tail weight. The meeting was held at the San Pedro Lion's Den. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Minister of the Blue Economy Andrew Paris, along with CEO Kennedy Carrillo and the Fisheries Department, met with a group of fishermen who do not accept the proposed regulation. It was a heated discussion involving veteran fishermen sharing their experiences in the fishing industry.
We got with farming, 21 fools can't judge over so much fishermen in San Pedro. You know, they do low fool, man. We need patrol, we don't need no more lands. We need people that are competent and love their Belizeans. We don't need no bunch of fools that love the white man.
Fishing is not going down because of the fisherman. Fishing is going down because we're not protecting the same thing that is needed to grow them, our mangroves.
The fishermen expressed to the members of the head table that the amendment to increase the lobster tails for sustainable purposes is unnecessary, as they have been fishing for decades using the same practices, and lobsters are still in large numbers out at sea.
We do not accept this 4.5 ounces on the lobster tails. It's just something that we will never accept as a fisherman.
Others shared that there was a lack of consultation, claiming that when the new law is enforced, their livelihoods will be jeopardized. Activist Oscar Boy is a tour guide by trade, but came out in support of the fishermen.
They would have never have this issue if they had consult the people with what the laws they're passing. Because you just can't pass a law. I don't know, for example, one of the hook stick. That is something being used in how the fishermen end up they acquire that tool to catch these lobsters. Because there's a skill to it. Even me, I can't use one. I don't want a tour guide. I can't use one that I hook. And then you want to use something else where it's not going to work. And I have seen the anger in the people because they needed a consultation to whether the things are they pass through. You need a consultation and don't they pass laws about the size and this thing, and it will kill the fisherman's livelihood.
Despite the expression of discontent by the fishers, the Ministry of Blue Economy has been facing them, willing to provide alternatives and other ways to balance off the loss. And at the end of the meeting, Minister Andre Perez said the regulation will be deferred for a year and consultations will take place.
We did agree that indeed it is maybe another year to defer it, if they were, and to amend it, not really to amend, but to defer. But we must reach again to our people that we must implement as sooner than later. Yeah. And I mean, we cannot be sitting on to saying if not now, then when. We have to set a date. And I think that monitoring it closely. This year we have deferred, and the next year that comes in we want to implement, and working closely with the fisher folks, not only here in San Pedro and Akikaga, certainly, but down south as well, closely monitoring that the fish, the lobster is going to be 4.5 ounces, and then see how the production.
Some fishermen stated that they will continue to fight against regulations. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The ministry is asking each fishing community to identify 3 persons who will form part of a community advisory group with whom they will be able to consult continuously. This will also provide the fishers to access the ministry about their concerns and suggestions. The Belize Tourism Industry Association, BTIA, held a summit today that drew members from far and wide to hear about efforts to improve formal training for those in tourism and how stakeholders should prepare their businesses for the future. The event, which bore the theme Reimagining Belizean Tourism, took place this morning at the Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza Hotel. Marian Ali was there and followed this report.
The opening ceremony for the event established a setting of planning, preparation, and reflection on the brutal impacts of COVID on the industry. BTIA President Stuart Crone expressed regret that not enough people heeded the advice to take their COVID vaccines and the fact that the pandemic claimed so many people, both from the industry as well as from other sectors. Crone also urged everyone to look beyond just the horizon.
To try and think where we're going as an industry, as a nation, as a people. We have a lot to offer to our country, and it's going to require some, I would say, yes, we all know it requires hard work, but it's not hard work alone that is going to make us succeed. It's hard work, but sometimes we have to think, okay? We have to think beyond what's for lunch today.
Former Bahamian Tourism Minister Vincent Vanderpool Wallace, who was today's guest speaker, advised that key elements are needed in order to make the tourism product wholesome.
What are we really talking about in terms of measures of success? What are we talking about? And when we start talking about that, it's very important, visitor nights, which translates into occupancy. If you have this facility that you have built with 100 rooms, but every night you're only filling 40 rooms, but you keep talking about getting new investors, you've got a new investor right here with 60 rooms vacant. So try and figure out ways to begin to expand the occupancy, expand the visitor nights, which is very, very important. The second part of it is the visitor experience. There is no substitute for it. None whatsoever. People walking away saying they're going to recommend you and they are going to come back because of a wonderful experience. There's no substitute for that.
An integral part of the preparation for today's event included collaboration with the University of Belize, whose interim president, Dr. Vincent Palacio, shared that the university's new effort to streamline its tourism course is a serious attempt to produce better quality tourism students.
We are currently reviewing the National Sustainable Tourism Master Plan, and we are in conversation in establishing a National Tourism Training Institute. You told us that our tourism graduates had too much management skills and not enough hospitality skills. What we did, we went back and developed a bachelor's degree in hospitality management. We incorporated a class called communication skills in the curriculum for every tourism student. And you say they don't write too well. The bachelor's level students have to take a technical writing course too. Come August, every student who enroll into the University of Belize, not just our tourism student, will have to take a class called critical thinking.
One of the upgrades that UB has taken to better prepare its tourism course is to make the course more available to all its sites across the country, as well as online for ease of access to people already employed. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Belize has been classified as a high-risk category destination for travelers by the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. On Monday, the CDC announced that Belize, along with the Bahamas, Montserrat, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the southern African country of Eswatini were moved to level 3, or high risk, for COVID-19. Belize was one of 4 countries to have previously been listed as level 2 or classified as being of moderate risk. The level 3 COVID-19 high category now applies to countries that have had more than 100 cases per 100,000 residents in the past 28 days. Meanwhile, level 4, which was previously labeled as the highest risk category, is now reserved only for special circumstances, such as extremely high case counts or the detection of a new variant of concern or healthcare infrastructure collapse. The CDC had adjusted its classification system in April, and under the new system, no destination has been placed at level 4 so far. Just ahead, special needs artists display their works at the tourist village when we return.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marion Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
National Agriculture and Trade Show is back. Visit the Next Gen booth for exclusive deals and discount on our Next Gen service bundles, high-speed internet, and more. Come experience a cinema setup and watch the Champions League finals on a big screen. We're bringing you great service and entertainment to the 2022 showgrounds. We'll see you there. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Hello eCash user, the eCash app is now available in Spanish. Changing the language in your eCash app from English to Spanish is quick and easy. Let me walk you through the steps. First, open your eCash app. Enter your PIN, tap the More icon at the bottom of your screen, choose Security, select Language, tap on Spanish, then re-enter your PIN. And that's it! Your eCash app is now in Spanish, and you can continue to enjoy your eCash digital wallet. Belize Bank's eCash app makes life easier.
Democratizing Innovation in the Americas, DIA, is one of two main programs under the Trust for the Americas. And today, the Trust officially launched its DIA Youth Innovation Lab in Belize. The objective behind the initiative is to build a network of youth from across the country that will be trained to create solutions and improve governance and innovation in their communities. Youth who participate in the initiative will be encouraged to identify challenges within their communities before gaining the necessary skills to create solutions through entrepreneurship. The program's mission is to offer 40 hours of training over the course of 3 months on specialized topics. At the end, participants will be able to access seed funding for a business startup. The launch was held this afternoon at the UWI Open Campus in Belize City.
We're going to provide a 40-hour training for 10 weeks in Belize City and in the country of Belize. So this training is going to benefit 150 youth, and we're going to open as well other activities such as workshop, digital training, entrepreneurship training in the country of Belize through the DIA Lab in Belize City, but also other partners' facilities in pretty much all and every district of Belize. The youth in a lot of countries now, unfortunately, especially with the pandemic, has been out of school. They're very committed to learn. They want to learn, especially in those digital areas. And we hope that we can complement these needs by providing those additional support for youth to be able to develop either a venture but also a project. They can directly come to the DIA Lab in Belize City, which is now in the UE, Open Campus facilities. But if they want to reach outside of Belize City, they can reach out to us through our Facebook page, that is at DIA Lab Belize, DIALAB Belize.
Begins at the University of West Indies Open Campus on Saturday. As of today, a total of 150 youth have signed up for the training courses.
We see really a tremendous interest from the youth, which is very encouraging and inspiring to read all those applications and see all those youth who really want to learn and further their skills. I believe that what's drive their interest is that when you're young, you want to learn, you want to try new things, and we really hope that we'll be able to help them achieving their goals and their dreams. Every Saturday from 1:30 to 5:30 for 10 weeks, we're going to have those 150 youth throughout the country. So from Toledo, Punta Gorda, Benque, Sarteneja, we have participants from all over the countries. We're going to either learn and join online through their mobile phone or in the facilities of our partners. So if they don't have access to internet or digital items at home, they can go to a lab and they're provided with those equipment.
Today, a collection of art pieces from talented children who are living with disabilities were on display at the Fort Street Tourism Village. The items, which include paintings, toys, and other works, were available for purchase by thousands of cruise ship tourists who disembarked and went shopping throughout the village. But the event was twofold because students from Stella Maris were training with therapy adventures on practical skills in customer service. It's the second such event called Out of the Box Art.
It's called the Out of the Box Art. So we partnered with the Tourist Village and we're doing pop-up shops. The art is made by youths with disabilities, so a variety of disabilities. We have, a young lady from Belmopan that paints with her toes. We have our kids with autism that do the dolls, etc. And so we're selling them, and the artists get their money too, so they're making their sales here. But then we've also partnered with the Ministry of Education, so we're getting students from Stella Maris to come out, and they're being trained by our Therapist Adventures therapists. So they're teaching them what to sell, how to do the customer service, handle the money. So they're getting practical skills.
You do tell things, you do money, you do science, take people money, take people matters, and that.
You've been having fun. You'd want to do it again?
Yes, sir.
And we're doing vocational training. So we're teaching them real life skills like money exchange, customer service, practicing scripts with them. And it's really fun actually to see them learning, and they're like proud of themselves because they're accomplishing things and they're selling it.
The hope is that maybe by the end of this, in a couple sessions, they might be good enough that they could get hired at another store, and then we'll start with another round of students.
The proceeds from the sales went to the artist and a commission to the student from Stella Maris. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5police.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.